help me, share the roll. It's working, when we step together, lay down the road. We are the children, we'll support you, yeah, we're so happy, following the blues. We love what you're going to say. We have when it stops. Here's the national anthem. There goes what we're longing for.
The big welcome back to the Tilton Talk Show, coming to you live across Zoom tonight and across the nation and world. And we are back after a 3 week sabbatical and a football debacle, including that referee, which we will surely come to in a minute. One more point for the Blues again this weekend. You know, we just have to accept he's plodding along with those points away, and just hope that one day something good come along. Perhaps not. Support and of course sponsored by Balls. Tilton Talk Show comes to you live and exclusively tonight we have some guests around the areas, the Midlands and further afield. Alan's not joining us at the moment. Some tech issues. Getting soon. So let's say hello and welcome to the team tonight. The one is Craig Courtney.
Good evening, all, and welcome back.
Why you got red and white and black on your colours?
It's actually grey and orange, and it's warm. I mean, that's all that matters, you know.
Get a towel, get a sheet put around, yeah?
Put
your
easy
on.
You're
not a penguin quite yet, you know. Some
look, when it gets to -5 outside, then the wife can have the heating on, mate. Apart from that, it's not happening.
Good to see you back, Craig. Anyway, the one and only Mr. Rowe.
Hello, Nick. Hello, everybody. You okay?
Yeah, I'm on my iPad tonight, not my phone. So your head looks 10 times bigger than it normally does. God, I'm scared.
It's good to be back.
Got to say welcome to the one and only Mrs. Browne, Mr. Browne, Chris Browne. The bucket is under your table. I'm crying out loud.
He's forgot to bring it.
Technical stuff. He needs a wee. It's great to have Paul back as well. Greetings, Paul. You got a bit of an announcement later on, I understand.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
So we'll come to that a bit later on in the show. Did anybody see? Right, we'll start off on the international scene first. We're enemies of our own downfall if you miss a penalty like that. And I'm sorry, we are. I can't reward losing. I can't. Right? But I'm not going to slate the team. The team looked good. It looked solid. They performed well. They performed as a team very well. The structure looks good. Everything looks good, but the finishing. What do we do, Paul?
Just keep going. Just get your heads up and go again. I mean, you know, the painful thing about, you know, these tournaments is the World Cup especially. It's once every 4 years, and you know it's such a long time to redeem yourself. But
I'm running out of years, Paul.
I do think though that we've got a great crop of young players. You know, I mean, obviously Jude's just phenomenal, and Foden and Saka and, you know, Declan Rice. I mean, Jude and Declan Rice will be in England's midfield for the next 10 years, and Saka and Foden will probably be on the flanks as well for the next 10 years.
I think Henderson was superb as well.
Yeah, as soon as he brought Henderson in for Mount, we were a lot better. You know, so I've got no issues, and obviously I'm not moaning like I was after the Euros final last year. I'd rather lose trying to win than lose trying not to lose. And you know,
I think had we scored the penalty, guys, I think we would have perhaps gone on to win that game.
It's all hindsight, Nick. We'll never know.
It's if, and I can't live on it. The end score was 2-1 to La France. As if there's lots of Frances, the France, La France. And it again was a bitter pill to swallow.
I think for me,
Yeah.
last year, after the Euros final last year, I was questioning Southgate a lot after the way we played in that final. Obviously, we went a goal up early and then we just tried to hold on to it for 85 minutes. And this time in this World Cup, he went 4-3-3 and we had a good go. And, it worked a lot better with the players we've got. And I mean, call me captain hindsight, but I do think that if we'd have done that in the final last year against Italy, we'd have done it. I'm not going to say we'd have won it, but we'd have definitely scored more than one goal. I'm going to put my head out and say that. But again, we never know. It's all hindsight. But the future's bright. I'd like him to stay for the next Euros. I do think he's got unfinished business. But, you have to question, is he good enough to actually get us over the line? And the reason why we didn't win the other night, I think, wasn't down to Southgate, really. I do question why he took Saka off, because he was our best player. But, when
not only was Saka a best player, I mean, right, I hate to say this, but that game was made for Grealish.
Yeah, well, he could have brought him on a lot sooner than he did, that's for sure. But I do think the second goal, we switch off for a split second to get punished, obviously.
Man, yeah, they were fast, weren't they?
Maguire had a good game and did a good job on Giroud all night, apart from that split second. And we get punished. And the first goal was a blatant foul on Saka at the other end of the pitch that should have been called back by VAR and given. Obviously, the foul on Kane was just outside the box, so they couldn't call that back to give a free kick, although the referee was an absolute shambles not giving it. Well,
I've heard today that he's been offered the final.
He's been offered what?
The final.
Been offered the final?
Oh, the referee?
He's been offered the final, yeah. It's been on the news today.
Good luck to them two teams whoever gets the final then. But I think, I just think that, on the night, we just fell a bit short, and it's the fine margins in these games, and we just fell that little bit short. And obviously, Harry Kane, I don't blame. If it weren't for Harry Kane, we wouldn't have been there in the first place, would we? Let's be honest. And we've taken huge strides since we lost to Iceland in the Euros in 2016. And obviously we've been to a semi-final, we've been to a final, and now we've been to a quarter-final and lost to France. And people will say that obviously as soon as we get to a 50-50 game, we can't win. We don't win against the team that we probably shouldn't. All the teams that we've beaten along the way, people will say that we probably should have. But I thought Senegal were pretty good. Obviously, they were the African champions, weren't they?
Yeah.
We were superb in that game. But no, overall, no complaints from me, as much as I had after the Euros final last year.
I don't. I, Paul, also don't feel like I did with the Euro finals. I don't. Look, we got beat. We've been defeated. Okay.
Yeah.
And the only song that kept going through my head all day yesterday was "Footballers Coming Home."
I never say that. I'll only ever sing that song or say it when it happens, if it happens.
Yeah.
No, I'm on about footballers coming home.
Oh, footballers.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, that was just
play on words there, for you, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys.
Yeah.
Do you think, Paul? Do you think Southgate? For me, let's just put it out there. For me, I think he needs somebody there with him that's almost got the old head in there, if that makes sense. So that he's built definitely that rapport within the team. That group and crop of youngsters now that are going to come through now. We're going to look at that team and think we're going to lose a few of them by the time we get to the next tournament. Hopefully in obviously 2 years' time. Now, the other thing is the fact that you look at the next World Cup, right? 60 years at that point since we've won the Cup, right? I don't believe at that point in time there'll be two things. Firstly, Harry Kane will not be captain of England at that point in time.
You don't think?
We know that's going to be.
I don't think Harry Kane will be playing.
No.
Because he'll only be 32 years old though. Then just about to turn 33.
I get the feeling though that I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but for me now, I'd be looking at it and thinking, right, I want to go that next stage. The Euros be lovely to win the Euro, right? But actually, my focus of attention now will be 4 years' time. We'll be saying what do we need to do to win the World Cup? And I know everybody's raved on about him, but Bellingham showed during the whole of that tournament that he is the next England captain. He also showed me that he is the player that we need to build a squad around. And in 2 years at the Euros, and I'm going to say we'll be there because I think we will.
Oh, yeah.
2 years at the Euros, he might not quite be the captain at that point in time, but the vast majority of the squad should be built ready to go into that, to expand and get the knowledge ready for 4 years' time. He will be phenomenal. Let's face it, everybody spoke about him, everybody talks about him across the world.
I was going to say, Craig, it's across the whole globe. Everybody knows. I mean, it sounds corny, but we've been saying it for years. But the whole world knows him now. And it wouldn't be beyond the realms to see him go to a massive, Barca, Real Madrid. He's that good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he'll come to Premier League, incidentally, and all this talk.
To be honest, Craig, to be honest, I don't. In a weird way, I don't want him to.
No, I don't want him
to Real Madrid or Barca. I don't know why. I just think it'd be better served playing.
I can see him at Liverpool or Man City if he did come to the Premier League. I think for the reason for Liverpool is obviously Klopp, and obviously Gerrard was his favourite player growing up, wasn't he? He used to watch Steven Gerrard a lot, and he's even said himself, that Stevie G was my favourite player. And then also obviously Man City to play with Haaland again, isn't it? So there's logic to them too. I think Real Madrid or PSG obviously would be willing to put a lot of money down for him as well. He's got the choice of wherever he wants. Yeah. He needs to make
he doesn't have the choice of the world. He does not. He has the choice of the universe.
He does, yeah.
He is going to be a man mountain. He is going to be colossal for the England setup. Goosebumps alert. Sorry. There we go. Just to prove. All right. He's going to be an absolute asset as long as that lad can stave up injury. Right. He's got probably one of the brightest footballing futures in front of him than anybody has ever had in this world, ever.
And credit to him on his return as well. With the video, if you haven't seen it, that's in circulation at the moment of getting back. Obviously still very distraught after what's gone on and everything else. But there was a fan chasing after him in the car, and what did he do? He did nothing more than have the car stopped so that he could greet and speak to that fan.
Right.
Brilliant. Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you know why, Craig? Do you know why I lost my love for the international scene? Was I was at Wembley with my children when they were small. Adam's 36 now, Luke's 34. Right, okay. And I said to the boys, "Come on," I said, "we'll go and wait for the team bus to come in." And the team bus come in. And every single one of them had poxy headphones on, looking forward, stoic. Didn't wave to the children, apart from David Beckham. Right? So it was his era. And now I haven't been to an international game since. And I think that we've got a better attitude now, right?
Yeah.
That the team spirit. It's not me, right? It's team. And I get that. And I do thank Gareth Southgate for that still. Can't forgive him for that penalty miss. I can't, promise you. Not until he wins a major.
Yeah, I think you need to let that go now after all this.
Let it go.
I do it tongue in cheek.
I think for me,
welcome back, Chris Browne.
Thank you.
That's where he has been outstanding, Southgate, off the field with like the club type atmosphere. There's no club divide there. I mean, I don't know if anyone's watching Lions Den on YouTube with Josh Denzel. But me and my daughter absolutely love it. Watch it every day. They play a darts game at the end of each show called Sharpshooters. They get the fans dialing in. He didn't get any of that before Southgate, and he's allowed the media to come in, and he's got them interacting with the players, and he's got the country on the team again, and all that. It's very weird though singing "God Save the King," isn't it? I've got to say that. I'm still really struggling with it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have a king.
But
not my king. Sorry.
Yeah, but overall, he's done a good job. But is he good enough to get us over the line to actually win a tournament? I'm not sure.
Well, that will tell in 2 and 4 years' time, Paul. And we've done quarter an hour on England now. I think we ought to get.
Yeah. The only other thing I want to say quick.
Yeah, come on, mate.
It's just people obviously on Talk Sport. They're on about Pochettino. They're on about Joachim Low. They're on about Tuchel. And I'm thinking, a German in charge of England. Are you having a laugh?
Yeah.
I don't want that. No, I do not want that. Listen, look. Seriously, I've slated Gareth Southgate. I think he's got his finger on the button, right? But he just needs to press the button now, right?
Yeah.
And prepare now for 2 years' time, and then prepare for 4 years' time, right?
Yeah.
You've got to have planning, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, yeah? An analogy. But I've actually got a lot more trust in Gareth Southgate now than I did have. I promise you. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
No, and I'm being genuine, Paul. I'm being right, proper genuine. But again, we fell short.
But could you imagine, Nick, imagine you being the Germany manager, right, for a second as an Englishman, right, and then we're playing England in a World Cup semi-final.
Ridiculous situation.
You'd be calling Lothar Matthäus and Klinsmann, wouldn't you? And in their 60s, put them out there, wouldn't you?
I don't want any German. No disrespect to Germany or Germans. I do not want a German in charge of my country's football club.
No,
right? I don't. End up.
The equivalent of Dean Smith being our manager.
Oh God, there's a little bit of sick just coming in my throat.
Could you imagine?
Oh.
Who did John Eustace support?
I've got to take you back a little bit here now because us and them over the A38 have swapped managers many times over the years.
We have lots of times, yeah, and players.
And players, yeah.
Yeah.
But can I quickly say as well? No. I don't think it's fair people label.
Yes, you did. Well done. You put it as well.
Don't think what, Mark?
I was going to say people are labelling him a complete failure. He's not a complete failure. Failure is Scotland. Failure is one World Cup every 60 years. That's complete failure.
Yeah.
Well, we've underachieved. We haven't completely failed.
No, I agree with that. I mean, they were the second worst team after Qatar, weren't they, Wales?
Oh, they were dreadful. They were like a League One side. Dreadful.
I think we beat Wales. I think the Blues have beat Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think us few had to beat Wales as well.
I think Blues ladies have beat Wales.
Yeah.
But no, they were dreadful.
Overall, it was. I always love the World Cup anyway. But it was good to, when it lasted while we were in there, it was good. It never feels the same when we're out. But at least went out fighting and having a go. That's what I like.
What do we think about the Winter World Cup? Have you enjoyed being in the winter?
Absolutely.
No, I have not.
No.
Absolutely not. Ridiculous situation.
I've got to admit, it would have made Christmas a whole lot better if they'd have come back with it. But
it was nice.
I enjoyed it then, Chris.
It was nice to decorate my tree in England, St George's Cross bunting, though.
Very bizarre.
That'll probably never happen again.
No.
I will probably never see Blues in England play on the same day ever again either.
Wasn't that weird? Wasn't that weird?
Very strange, yeah. Really weird.
Yeah.
Very odd. Very weird.
At least we drew.
Yeah, that's
right.
it.
That's right.
Okay, guys, that's enough for the England scene at the minute. Oh, somebody's trying to ring me.
There's all.
Your boy era. Come on, you got to answer it.
How professional can you get?
Is that the old Nokia 33?
I'm on radio, mate. I'm on Tilton Talk. We're live.
Oh, go on, Nick. Say love you.
Love you, Adam. Take care, mate. Love you, mate. Love you, loads.
I love you as well.
Right, okay. No, I'll call you back later when we finish.
Call him back later. Yeah. Okay.
All right, no sweat.
No, okay. Love you.
No, Adam, don't swear. You're live on TV.
Love you.
No. I've got it. Get this sorted. Right, go, try.
Keeping him talking as well. I love that.
Oh dear. I've had a few beers.
The last thing I'm going to say about England is that that penalty on Mason Mount. I cannot believe the ref didn't give that in real time. Unbelievable, and again, that's another good. If you'd have put that in, if Kane had have scored that penalty, I'd be sitting there saying thank the Lord for VAR again. But obviously he didn't. But anyway, that's enough about England. Let's move on.
Yeah, no more.
Yeah, let's move on. Right. No apparently England played the weekend. Okay, so it was a 0-0 draw up at Blackpool. Horrible place, vile, horrible place. Can't stand the place. Anybody go?
No.
Too cold.
Watched it, but didn't go.
Yeah,
you watched it. Okay, Craig, give us your analysis on it.
Well, I mean, considering we've been off for 4 weeks, it firstly didn't look, as though we had. Team was still very much together. Some good attacking prowess. I think we definitely, the same as in fact I've seen across many of the games this weekend, has been that sharpness and I guess the prowess to get the ball into the back of the net. To talk about the 2 goals, the first one, strange one for me, because whilst yes, the player was in.
Sorry, you put your hand over your mouth. I couldn't read your lips.
Whilst the player was over the goal, and was blocking the sight of the goalkeeper, I feel as though the ball was going in a different direction. So I question whether that one, firstly, should have been discounted. And the second one, well, no, and that should have stood. Some of the decisions from the standard again of officiating were terrible.
Awful.
Was it him that officiated at the England-France game? Did he just nip over, do that one, and then nip back again?
I'll tell you what, mate. I question which one was worse. He was. He just didn't. The other thing was they didn't let the game flow. I think there were opportunities for both teams, incidentally, where the game was stopped, and actually, if it had been let go, we may have seen a few more opportunities. Fantastic support from our fans, as always.
Fantastic.
Right, I'm going to quickly come in on that one, right? Because I was obviously at work on Saturday. And when I was coming home, it was like a proper atmosphere. And it was just blues. It was nothing else. I couldn't hear anything else.
No, there was absolutely nothing from Blackpool. In fact, I mean, you could see why Blackpool were and are in the position they are in the league. I don't think I could say it's as much down to the team, but actually the whole ethos around the stadium was it was non-existent. It was terrible. You'd have sworn they'd been relegated.
Yeah.
It was that sort of atmosphere to see, parts of stands completely empty. And don't get me wrong, I know we do, but we've got a reason for it. They haven't.
It's a shame, really, because it's such a it's an old club with a massive tradition and some fantastic players.
They sold their
in
old
the
stadium
past.
to Port Vale, didn't they? Yeah, to Port Vale, yeah.
I don't know.
But it's, I mean, overall,
would you have took a draw?
I'd have took a draw, but actually,
I'm
probably more disappointed with a 0-0 at Blackpool than I am with England going out on the evening. And that's because I think we were the better team and we did have the more clear-cut opportunities. But again, we talk about it. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon, and going into the second half of the marathon now.
It's certainly huge progress on that ground from last season, isn't it? Obviously.
Oh God, yeah.
6-1, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I thought we played well. I thought like you say, we were the better team. We created the better chances. I mean, how Roberts missed that one, I'll never know. Although I thought he had a good. I thought he had a decent game, to be fair, Roberts. But I don't know, he missed that.
We hit the post as well, didn't we?
Yeah, Chong hit the post as well. He couldn't have done much more than what he did with that, other than just put it in.
Really, we could have won that 4-0 quite easily, quite comfortably.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But we just weren't a bit like England. We weren't clinical, where we didn't put our chances in. And
I suppose, Paul, to be honest, it's a bit of sluggishness, sort of having like a big reset. It's the second part of the season now, and it's almost like not a bonus point, but you know what I mean. We're not quite. We've switched off, and we've sort of get going again. So I think we'll be a lot better on Friday. Hopefully,
I think for us,
I'm looking forward to Friday.
I think for our squad, though, Mark, I think this World Cup break has been an absolute godsend because, there were game after game after game. Obviously, we've got such a small squad. I think, it's done them the world, doesn't it, to reset and go again.
Yeah, good call, Paul. Good call.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll add a few bodies in January as well. I don't know what's obviously going on now on the ownership and financial side of the club, obviously, since the Paul Richardson and Maxi Lopez announced.
We'll come on to that one in a minute.
That's something that we need to talk about. Yeah.
But they were never going to obviously buy us outright, were they? It was always going to be an investment.
Yeah.
So people say the takeover's fallen through, but it actually hasn't.
Never a takeover. Yeah.
Never a takeover.
Never a takeover.
Okay, so we've got some questions that we now need answering. Yeah, all right. It's really sad that I'm out of range of Radio West Midlands and I can't keep in touch with things going on. Craig, I do listen to your recordings once you've made them or working on all that. What's happening now? What is going to go on now? What's happening in the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months? Okay, now we've had the diggers in,
Yeah.
and the club have been brilliant in providing a couple of updates, and it's all we need. That's literally all we need. Boom, stick it out on Twitter. What the situation is, yeah. Now we need to know what is the situation with ownership. Who are our owners? Who are they? Why are they faceless? Why? What have they got to be ashamed of? Huh? They own a football club. Why are they ashamed? I don't get it. And what's the plan, the succession plan now for the future of Birmingham City Football Club? Those questions need to be answered. Craig, who do you think should be answering these questions? I know you questioned this the other day on Radio WM.
I did, but the answers have to come from, right, firstly, we have a chairman at the club. We have a chairman we do not hear from. So we need to hear from the chairman.
What's his name? Name and shame.
Wow.
Which one?
Which one? You know, there are that many people that are involved, you know, and so people I have seen, first of all, questioning and ultimately as well, a little bit of abuse towards Ian Dutton. Right?
I don't want abuse. I don't want abuse towards anybody.
We've got to stop. Stop.
Leave it out. Abuse is not constructive at this point in our season.
There is one thing, right? It's widely circulated now from quite a few groups. Thursday evening, St Andrews, there is a fans forum. Now, that fans forum is for the invite of those that are affiliated as groups to the club. So our friends at Excessi Blues are attending. They have also already issued out a notice to say, if people have questions, let them know. They have got to go in early. In fact, I believe the cut-off may even be this evening for those questions to go in. It's probably fair to say, there's going to be no questions answered.
Mate, I promise you. But I think that's the worst thing ever, is to put your questions in 4 days before an event so you can work out what your answers are. I want to ask questions that I want answering there and then by mouths that I can see moving, right? Mm-hmm. And I do not want you to make me ask you a question that I can do a lot of research on.
Hey.
I think ultimately at the moment, nobody knows, do they? Within the club, you know, it's obviously in Hong Kong. It's all going on in Hong Kong. I do think there is other people interested in the club at the moment. You know,
I'll tell you who's interested in the club, Paul. The fans. We're all interested in the club, and we've got nothing for the last 11 years.
Yeah, but I'm talking interested as in...
I know. I'm just getting angry again.
So it's frustrating. It's going on way too long now. It's been going on forever. So we basically need to see the light at the end of the tunnel now, don't we, really? I think the tunnel's been long enough. The club have been in the dark for long enough. I do think now, though,
Sorry.
we have got good people, though, in the club now. The likes of Craig Locker and John Eustace will take us forward. They're good people to take us forward. So we just need the right ownership with some investment, not just into the team, but the club as well. And you can see, obviously, there's the star mural on the wall, and you know you can see now that the work's being carried out. And the World Cup was a good time to do that, obviously. So you know, I think we have got people there now that are doing a good job, that know what they're doing in certain positions, in important positions. But to take us forward properly, we just need to, you know, we need a takeover, and that's the ultimate truth, isn't it? Really,
do you know what astounds me is that why has nobody ever took a punt on our club? Our club could be absolutely massive. Yeah, it's got one of the biggest catchment areas, not in the UK, but in Europe.
Yeah.
Why has nobody took a punt? Because that person who wants to invest some money is gonna come good eventually.
I think at the moment, obviously, that I listened to Paul Richardson on Talk Sport, and you know, a lot of the reasons why they had to come away was because of you know, the situation that the current owners are in, and I don't know what that situation is. He couldn't reveal that, could he? But you know, I don't know. I just like I said, I just want light at the end of the tunnel, because the tunnel's been long enough now. But it is good to see things happening at the stadium, and it's good to see, you know, the improvement that they've obviously had.
Right. So Paul, can I ask you a question? Were the investors putting the money in to do those repairs?
Well, somebody's paying for it, Nick, aren't they?
Of course they are. Yeah. You don't have diggers on sites for nothing, mate.
No. And as soon as any potential suit walk into reception and see them outstanding mats as well in place, they're obviously going to take.
No. I think it's fair to say,
right,
that
Paul, I promise you, every Tilton Talk Show from now on for the next 12 months until next Christmas, I want you to mention them mats in some perspective or other.
Go on, Craig.
Ahead of Thursday, I think it's fair to say, and I have seen a lot of comments around ask questions, you know, and get questions asked around ownership and what's got to happen. So there's two positives to take out of what happens with Richardson and the Lopez deal coming away. And the first thing is, we got to that stage. That, for me, is a huge step forwards in comparison to where we have been. The second point is, they not only went public with a statement from the club, which, don't get me wrong, is very brief. But what they stated in there was, there are other interested parties that have approached us. Now, when that statement went out, I looked at it, and the first thing I thought, and also through conversations that I've had, is, hang on a minute, they're making a statement here, but they haven't even made that statement to the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, which is where it impacts. But then we got the same statement to the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So whilst we don't know who it is, whilst we don't know what it's to do with, the sheer fact that they have gone public stating other interested parties is also a huge step forwards. It's another thing to say, we're doing something.
I get it, Craig. I get it, right? But you know what? The Tilton Talk Show is an interested party. And if people could send us enough stars, you know, we'd probably only need 30 or 40 to buy the club. But
the fact is, I don't think we're going to see a takeover. We are going to see investments. And that will be with a view of the 2-year breakdown that we have got now.
Surely just complicates the ownership issue, doesn't it?
It's all to do with the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. There is absolutely nothing else that it has to do with. And it's again, you know, just through looking up at a few things, speaking with a few people to understand it, and now I understand it more, is when you've got a business on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, you cannot float, in effect, or put shares out for that business until you have shown that for 2 years you can run that business as a going concern. And after that 2 years, you can then say, we are going to float and bring in the extra funding or whatever it may be that results in that full listing being given. Now, if BHSL go out and buy a business that's already on the market, then maybe things can happen a little bit quicker. But if they don't, and they go and, I don't know, they buy a massive plot of land, they're going to build 50 hotels, then that's got to run for 2 years. They've got to show it as being run correctly, to have money coming in, that it stays afloat, for us then to say, yes, everything can go through. Without that happening, we're not going to get rid of these owners, because they don't want to lose that stock exchange listing. It's worth too much money. You know, the club, let's be realistic, the club's probably worth 30, 40 million. Right?
The them buy it for 89 million. 15 years ago.
But what you've got is you've got a listing on the stock exchange that's worth 3 times that, because it's listed. There's nothing else behind it. And I'm the same as everybody else. I want new owners, but I've like I say, now I understand it more. I just now think to myself, we might have to give it that 2 years. Paul Richardson said himself, he's the only person that's come forward so far and been stupid enough to go into a deal of that sort. Actually, I think anybody that comes in has got to do that same thing. And I also believe he might still come back.
Yeah,
the hands are in them now.
Dare I say this, Craig?
Go on, Paul.
I only want new owners if they're going to be better than what we've got, obviously.
What we've got, yes.
I am going to say...
And Paul, have a pace and speak to us, right? We don't need to know all the technical ins and outs of running the football club, but just come along to a forum like this and say, guys, this is us, we're here. Here we are. Ask us a couple of questions.
I'm going to be...
How long before the stadium gets fixed? Oh, it's going to be 6 months, lads.
I'm going to be controversial here. I've got to be honest, I'm not... I mean, there aren't that many chairmen that are forward. Not as many as we think. And I just want the club run properly and to be successful. I don't care if I ever see a chairman again.
No, I think...
Chris, I get that. And I think it's just frustration that is like really boiling over now.
In a business,
I think the worry as well is I don't want to be sat here in 2 years' time, back to square one sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every time there's a potential deal, it goes back to square one. That's a big worry to me. It'd be like a big boomerang.
Yeah.
Could go back
I
to
actually feel as though they've learned so far. I do think they've learned. I do think that they, whilst maybe not at the pace we would all like, there have been improvements, and the baby steps are taking a lot longer. They're still crawling. They're not to the point of walking yet. And we should be. We shouldn't just be walking. We should be running. But it's not at that stage, and they're still, unfortunately, picking up the rubbish of previous people in control at the club.
Yeah,
you're right. We need a face. We need somebody that's going to be up front. Maybe that will start with this fans forum on Thursday. I don't know.
We invited Craig.
We do have an invite. Yes.
I'll have the day off work. I am of it.
I think we've only got the one invite, so
you're
way down the pecking order, I'm afraid.
Surprise.
Same as me.
It's one where it should have happened a long time ago. This is something that was cancelled originally.
Well, we did have an invite
in the last season,
and I was going to the last one. But
correct.
That got cancelled. So
yeah. Can I just quickly say, Anthony on YouTube has just said that it would be nice if there could be live coverage of the fans forum. And I agree. I think that would be absolutely fantastic.
Imagine that.
But how many years have we been saying that?
That would be good. Yeah.
I think it would be
really good.
Great idea.
Right, can Anthony please apply for government, because you've got far too much common sense.
I'd rather have the owners we've got than that lunatic Lawrence Bassini, for example.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't want him anywhere near the club. So I'd rather stick as we are than get him involved with us in any way, shape or form. But moving forwards, you just want, if there is a takeover, dare I say, it could be worse. Do you know what I mean? So you want to make sure it's going to be better. And that's probably what's taking the time, They're making sure, and dare I say, the EFL investigating everything with a fine tooth comb after, the absolute shambles of owners that have let us, let take over the club previously in the past.
Yeah.
Same EFL docked us 9 points, don't forget.
Yeah, but we did that. So we did that to ourselves, though, Nick, didn't we?
Sam has just said, will the forum be recorded? Not legally, no. I don't think it will be. If the club want to get in touch, I don't mind going up and doing the job.
Yeah. But no, it's, I think at the moment, like I said earlier, you just want light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully, new year, new owners would be nice, wouldn't it? But we'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath.
Well, it's felt, Paul.
Yeah, sorry, Mark, go on.
Sorry, Paul. I was going to say, it sounds corny, but it feels like after all the good work we've done on the pitch, it feels like a big kick in the stomach. It's like, back to square one.
I'd just go about 5 inches lower than the stomach, Paul, if I were you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've enjoyed going to the games again this season. It's been good.
Absolutely.
been playing well. So I mean, that's what we pay our money for, right? Isn't it? Watch the football.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know, and it's been good, and we've got some good results, and we've got a good manager now who seems like the right guy to take us forward. So I think if he was given a bit of investment to spend on the team, he could do a good job. You know, if we could sign the likes of Trusty and Hannibal, and I can't see it, but Bielik, I think Bielik's the most realistic one. I mean, Angelo's great as well. He had a great game on Saturday, didn't he?
Oh, he was brilliant on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well
Well
done,
our
Jack,
best
for getting
game.
that shirt. Well done, little Jack, for getting that shirt afterwards as well. So,
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
it's been worse, hasn't it, than what it is at the moment? Certainly on the field, but you know, off the field, again, it's been worse. But you know, we want it to be better, don't we? We want we want to get back to stability, and we want investment in the team as well, really, don't we? And it's good signing good players, which we have done. But most of our best players are on loan, aren't they? But you know, when you look at the players we've got that are ours, though. I think we are further forward than what we were again, you know.
Paul, we've gone from 9th in the Premier League and winning the Carling Cup final to this.
Yeah, well, yeah. But Chong's ours, Hannibal's ours, you know, Colin's ours.
Yeah.
Who else is ours?
Ruddy. I've got a memory.
Yeah. George Hall's ours as well, and Jordan Jack. You know, but we could field a half decent team with our own players if you took the loan players out. But it'd obviously be nowhere near as good. But it'd still be competitive, wouldn't it?
What's a shame is that as soon as we start getting a bit of success, we get all these clubs.
Somebody comes along and buys them.
They come round sniffing, don't they? Managers.
Can you imagine Birmingham City now with Jude still in the squad?
Oh dear.
Come on, where would we be? And this is what these owners have got to think about. Like, don't sell your best things that you've got. They're assets. Keep them, use them.
We may not have existed, and we may not exist if it wasn't for Jude Bellingham.
I know. I get it, Craig, but like,
it looks like he's going to be. It looks like he's going to be going for like north of 125 million. I think he's going for 50.
130. 130, Paul.
I don't know what the sell-on clause is that we've got, but I hope it's in the.
I think it's an ice cream, 2 Twixes, and a lawnmower.
Yeah, I've got no idea what the percentage is. Any idea, Craig?
I know that, as with all players, there is I believe it's a mandatory 5%, but that's with every player, you know. But you can then write pretty much whatever you know is agreed into the contract, and I think it's fair to say nobody, apart from the people that wrote the contract, know what's in there.
Agree, Craig, don't they? That's it. Both parties agree it.
That would
potentially though. That
would buy the club, wouldn't it?
I was going to say, potentially that sell-on clause could actually buy a couple of the loan players. Maybe it might, you know, allow us to buy someone like Trusty. You know, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it?
No.
Causing a bit of controversy, I'd just say, his sell-on clause could help us get rid of these owners a hell of a lot quicker as well by just saying, "Have the bloody money and go."
Yeah.
You know, people will hate me for saying that, controversially, but.
I could not hate you for saying that. If I had the money in my pocket, I promise you, Craig, I promise you, I would just go along with a suitcase full of money and I'd say, off, right? Go.
You're talking to Craig.
It's a double-edged sword, though, isn't it, Craig? Because, I mean, we say, let's get rid of these owners, but no one at the moment's queuing up to buy us.
No, that's it.
No.
You know.
Chris, you know what that surprises me? Because of the name. Birmingham.
Exactly, yeah.
England's second biggest city, right? Birmingham. Yeah. Take that in. England's second biggest city. And when Manchester United, I can remember them in Division 3.
Yeah.
Down the road, I can remember them in Division 3.
I think for me, what was interesting was on that last statement they brought out, Club Update, you know, talking about the Maxco deal falling through. They did mention in the next sort of 2 paragraphs about other interested parties. So let's just be, you know, be a bit more.
Paul, I could ring reception tomorrow. Also, I'm interested in buying. Yeah, it's an interesting party.
You wouldn't put that out there.
I know, but like, for me, it's just not enough. And right, things aren't being done in a timely fashion for us, are they? Huh?
No.
I'm
some of that's
61.
going to be out of our
I am
hands.
61 in 2 weeks' time.
You look a lot
on
older.
Christmas Day. I don't think I've ever mentioned that before. Right, but my time is running out. Huh?
It is,
I've had the joys, the absolute joys of seeing Birmingham City play in the Leyland Dap Cup final, in the one where we got robbed at Liverpool. But it was a joy to be there. It was, you know what? And I've seen things. I've seen beautiful things. I've seen horrible things. It's just like I can't envisage my football club just being like this forever. It's just the best. That's the best part of you gone, Chris.
Talking of Jude, do you reckon he'll be there on Friday? I reckon he'll be there watching on Friday.
Yeah,
he'll
be there Friday.
Yeah.
So
when did Dortmund play again?
Oh, that's a good one, though, because they postponed it. They postponed their league until mid-January, thinking they were going to be there for a long time.
Have they really? Right,
yeah.
Okay, when we go Friday, Kate Rice play for Jude. Might be on the bench.
Probably sat behind me.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep an eye for him.
Alan Watton, somebody called Alan Watton, says men
with
with
coming or not?
Men with money know exactly how much Blues are worth and their potential.
Yeah,
so true, so true.
That's very
But
true.
it is that potential, though, isn't it? And that's somebody's got to come across and say, you know what, that potential is there, and I can see it. I can see it. There's my vision. There's my plan.
There's gotta be.
You cannot have a vision without a plan. You can't have a plan without a vision, right? And then you go for it. Lock, stock, 2 smoking barrels, right? And I just want somebody to just get eradicate the
There has got to be somebody out there waiting and thinking, that's got to be worth a punt.
Let's also remember, though, you could have the multi-billionaire person sitting out there ready to buy the club. They can come in tomorrow. They can buy the club.
They wouldn't be able to spend anything.
We can't do anything until everything is settled. And that's the other thing is, I as a fan, I look at it this way, right? Yes, I want new owners, but I also know that things are not going to change overnight. Things will improve, but they're not going to change to the point that somebody cannot come through the door and play millions into a team.
No.
People cannot come through the door.
Are we looking at a 5-year plan, Craig, you think?
5 years would probably be a bit of a stretch. I would hope somebody come in 3 years.
Multi-billionaire with a kayak and a little bit of a ship and came in tomorrow and bought that Birmingham City football. Let's assume that happens. It's tomorrow, right? He's got billions, like Stoke owners have got billions. They cannot play a penny into that club.
Right, can't put money in.
Right. What have we got to go through before we can start investing?
First thing is, we've got to get the stadium repaired and get people through the door to give us some income.
Exactly.
Income is what drives what you can then go and spend. But we need, at the end of this season, we lose, I believe, our shirt sponsor because of laws around gambling and being on football shirts.
Correct,
So,
and Boyle Sports, we're generally sorry about that because we've looked at it with it.
We don't care.
So we're going to be looking for new sponsors by the end of this season. There's an awful lot that's got to be done.
Great. Here's a scenario, right? Okay. Right. There's a shop up the high street here, right, in town, just that way. That shop's been failing for the last 7 years. And I decided to say to the shop owner, I'm going to buy that off you. 10 grand. Silly figures, right? Let's say 10 grand. And then I invest £40,000, 4 times that shop's worth. I invest 40 grand to make that shop a very successful shop. Huh? Why can't that happen in football?
Profit and loss. EFL profit and loss. It's 3 years. It's based on a 3-year run.
I could go into a business tomorrow, buy it, and invest in it. I could buy all new equipment, top roller range, this, that, and the other, pay the guys top dollar if I wanted to, right? So why can't it happen in football?
I've got to say, it looks like they've got the right people in to repair the lower Cop and Tilton.
Yeah,
oh,
God, yes.
Yeah.
They haven't mucked about in there at all.
Was anybody
right with the takeover thing? Are they going to get paid now?
Well, I was just about to say that. Was anybody a bit sort of like squeaky bum time when?
Mate, my bum's been squeaky about the last 12
when Max
years.
Co released that statement.
I did, but I believe they've paid. That excavation work was paid for.
Okay, the excavation work may have been paid for. What about the rebuilding?
The rebuild was never going to happen until the summer.
Yeah.
So the money has got to come now from the existing owners. There's nobody else out there. So it has to come. It has to come from them.
Chronic.
Unless we have this same scenario as what we had with Paul, where somebody comes in and says, "Well, okay, I'm gonna do this," and then here we go. Is some money to keep you going. Let's keep things, keep things tidy. Keep it going over. We wait and see. But they shoot themselves in the foot if they do not reopen the bottom parts of the stadium. Because there are two things that are going to go through people's minds. The first one, the council are going to look at that stadium and go, "Oh, you've done the first is it still safe? Are we still in a good position here? Yeah. What are you doing to keep everybody secure?" And they're going to start asking questions if things do not move, right? So actually, may force the hand of a little bit more movement. It's not happening, as I say, until the summer. It can't happen until the summer. We can't do anything. So if we just
keep
going.
Look, Craig, that football stadium is utilised, let's say once a week, for 5 hours. Sorry, that 5 hours.
Yeah.
There's 6 days and 19 hours.
I don't work like that. I don't work like that, Nick.
It does in my life.
It can take 3 days. It can take 3 or 4 days to move machinery on and off a site, and anybody in construction will know that.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, with football clubs,
construction mate, come back some carpets, beautiful carpets, mate.
You've got to have more money coming in the door than what's going out, haven't you? In football, in any football club, and what the FFP rules are all about. Yeah. And that is why we got deducted.
No, Paul, that's with any business. Any business has to have more coming in than it does have going out. It has to. It's unsurvivable if you don't. Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I know that situation is better than it was, isn't it? I don't think, a touch wood, I hope to God that we're not in any situation again to, be under EFL investigation and look at points deductions and stuff like that. I'd like to think we've moved well on from that now.
It'll be interesting. I mean, has anyone been up to the Blues since we, broke up for the World Cup? Because I haven't been since that last game.
I've seen pictures.
So it'll be interesting Friday.
Yeah, I've seen pictures, Mark. Yeah.
So you have to rely on pictures, and
it
will be interesting to see what it actually looks like.
I can tell you, the club have given 2 updates, right, with pictures, and I was so happy to get that first update. Like, whoa, someone's actually talking to us.
Looks like we're having
it almost felt, Paul, like they were talking to me direct and to you direct. It was a personal thing.
I do like the idea of opening the whole of the GM to Blues fans. If that could be done, I'm sure it can be. I know there's a lot of obstacles in the way, but there's always a way around things.
For me, the obstacles are the stairs, Chris.
yeah. But I mean, if that could be done, what an atmosphere!
What do you mean, Chris? Yeah. Putting play fans in the main stand or something?
Putting them lower paddocks. Yeah, there's got to be a way.
Yeah. There's got to be.
Ian Dutton was asked that actually by Richard Wilford. Actually, I think he was when he did his last round of interviews, and it was one of the questions that came in from people was, why can't we have both ends of the ground behind the goal as home fans?
Right, many clubs. We've asked this question to West Midlands Police, Chris, if you remember.
Yep.
Right. And it's a safety issue. It's a logistics issue. It's moving people, and it is a little bit unfortunate because it would be superb.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And the acoustics there are fantastic as well.
I've got to say though, the view of the game, though, as a fan, obviously, if you're a season ticket holder, would you want to move from the lower paddock, if you say on, I don't know, 8 rows back, would you want to move from there to the Gilmerry? Because the view...
Can I answer your question, Paul? I'll answer your question, Paul. You know what? If it brought atmosphere and it brought success, I'd move to Australia.
I'd want a good view of the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Have you ever been to Top Gilmerry?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, once. It reminded me
It's
what
amazing.
a superb view
It's
that is.
great.
Remember the old game?
There?
Remember the old game Sensible Soccer about 30 years ago on the Amiga?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's what it reminded me of.
yeah.
Can I just say we've got a fantastic end there. Great stand, named after one of Blue's greatest ever players.
Yeah.
And what do? We stick some dirty, rotten away fans in it.
But Chris, right, think about this from a policing and a security point of view.
No.
Where else could we put them?
Well,
When
years
you've
and
got
years
that
ago,
big car park, that big coach park outside.
Yep.
Right.
Fences. You could put them in. You could put them in the corner there, right by where
I can
the old
take
main
that
stand is,
right.
right? You could put them in the main stand there, and you could make a fence that went all the way out round the car park. It's
one thing I've taken out of this
Easy,
World Cup finals,
easy.
and I have been watching it, right, is fan integration.
I agree, but you'd never get it.
Huh?
You'd never, ever get it. I know
I
what you're
reckon,
saying.
I reckon we could. If we worked hard enough, we'd get it at Bluesville again, definitely.
Tell you what, I think the music at the World Cup's been great as well. Before kick-off, they play some great tunes.
Yeah.
They play the same tune before kick-off, and it's it's great. It's
they build the
just
atmosphere up fantastic, yeah. Especially with
Yeah.
the countdown
And then
as well.
what
I
do we
love
do?
that.
What do we do, ladies and gentlemen? We tonight to play, and they go.
I'm clipping that.
It's just no. Oh no!
I thought Nick was snoring.
That would be killed in the
Here's a Nick Saw comment.
No!
That's the snippet now for advertising the show after we've
Here's the
recorded it.
Well,
highlight of this
It's
week's
not.
show.
It's not Gil Merrick. It's John Merrick, the Elephant Man.
Unlike you to make a joke, mate. Nice one. There you go.
That's a good impression, did it?
Was actually, yeah.
I've seen a lot of comments around the Stephen Carr mural on the wall.
I can't wait for that.
I think, first of all, brilliant from the pictures that I've seen. I also believe there was quite a bit of controversy around the voting, etc., and stuff that had taken place where people haven't received emails or been notified.
Sorry, Craig. What was that for? I missed that a little bit. Sorry, mate.
The mural that was put up, it was actually voted for by fans, but there were people that didn't get emails.
I didn't get an email. I didn't get a request. I didn't get anything.
No, mate.
I didn't either, but I love it anyway.
It is fantastic.
It's brilliant. And
if it's a Stevie Carr mural, I'm happy, mate.
Muriel's my auntie.
I know, great, isn't it? It's a Stevie Carr memorial.
It's funny that was.
To the next issue.
a bit off subject, but the events that happened yesterday evening, I have put a post out. Condolences from all of us to the families and friends of those three young men.
Yeah.
They're not kids, they're young men that have lost their lives.
Children. Children being children. They see a bit of ice, they walk on it. And the saddest bit for me was 2 hours later was another two girls walking on the ice.
Madness.
Right, okay. Like in my life here, I understand loss. Not from my family, but certainly from Shannon's, right? What the hell is every Christmas for the rest of those people's lives? And it's just not direct families, it's the indirect families and the hundreds of people who are their friends who are going to be affected for this forever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what a time
completely and utterly totally sad. Now, if there are children listening to this show tonight, please, please, please do not walk on ice. When I saw it, Chris, the other day, I thought, oh my God, surely that's not opposite your house. And I had to look and find it was the end of the airport, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not far away. Yeah, it's Kingshurst way, isn't it? Yeah.
But these are 3 children and 1 critical who are children of our city.
Yeah.
And yes, Nigel Mann. Well said, Nigel Mann. I watched the press conference earlier on. As a parent, it just makes you realise that at times you've got to, keep your kids close and hug them even more, to show how much they care. But his comments, fair play to the police who dived in to try and save him.
Am I right in saying?
Punching the ice.
I think the chap who did dive in, I think he's just been released today, hasn't he? From hospital.
Yes, indeed. He actually got hypothermia himself, so he shows you how bitterly cold that water was. But to jump in to try and physically punch through ice to save these lads, and also it's not just the police, but everybody that has been there to try, and ultimately, we unfortunately unsuccessfully, but to try and save these children, it's a credit to everyone.
Craig, the saddest bit about this is they were children being children. Children,
of course,
climbing trees or something like that. And I've also got to say, best wishes to one of my best friends, Gavin, who the other day was on the bottom rung of a ladder, fell off and had a double compound fracture of his ankle, with his bones sticking through and blood pouring all over the floors, just round the corner from here. Gav owns the Black Swan, where Sharon works, and he's had, I think, 3 surgeries already. It is unknown that you're going to have an accident, right? But please, kids, try and do everything you can.
Nick, you're probably the same as me. You can probably remember years and years and years ago on TV. There used to be a public warning that came up. Can anybody else remember that ice? Kids don't go near the ice.
I
ain't seen that for years.
Listen, children, I know it's fun. Not for me, it's not fun because I'd fall over and break my legs anyway. It is incredibly dangerous to the point where we've learned this week that it can take your life. So children, please don't step onto the ice unless you're in an ice rink.
Exactly.
And it's professionally managed. And mate, I'll tell you what, every one of you, I'll even pay for you to go to the ice rink rather than see you step on a lake which is insecure but 2 hours after that, after those children were killed, there was 2 girls seen walking on the ice on that same lake. That is so sad.
I think that's what it is. If you say to a kid, don't climb that tree, they're going to climb that tree.
I'm not going to knock the kids that did it. I'm not going to knock the 2 girls that did it because they're just out there having a bit of an interesting fun time. And that's what we all did when we was kids, surely. But ice, lakes, no,
don't do it.
Just changing the
But I'll
subject.
reiterate, sorry, Paul, I'll reiterate Craig's comments about how we were sentiment, our heartfelt feelings for the parents and families of those. They were just lovely, gorgeous little children.
So tragic, it's so sad.
Awful. Go on, Paul. Go on, Paul.
Sorry, changing the subject. Do we know if the guy who did the Stephen Carr mural is the same person who did the Jude Bellingham and Trevor Francis one?
It is, I believe, yes.
Is it? They look completely different to me. Different styles.
I also believe that the plan is that the other walls in and around the stadium are also going to be looked at, along with, and this was in the email. I was lucky to receive it, but it was talking around the fact of, maybe even inside the stadium, looking to do things as well, which, I mean, I so much would prefer to walk in and look at a painting on the back of the stand instead of breeze blocks like we do at this present moment, and things like that.
Yeah.
But it also just makes a massive difference because as a club, we've been crying out for different things to help us.
We could do so much more, right? I was a DJ for many, many years, working in the entertainment business. No, football is business, but it's also entertainment, right?
Yep.
Like blue and white fireworks going up all around. Drop all the lights. Blue and white fireworks going up all around the stadium when the players come out. Intimidate the opposition.
Yeah, scare the life out of them.
Flames going up. Anything. Anything. You can do so much in the entertainment business. But I know it costs, but you know what? If it costs and it intimidates and we win,
I think we should bring back the clappers.
Do we think we've covered every? Obviously,
I'm sorry, Chris. I think he's on about. You know the clappers he's on about, Paul, right?
Yeah.
They're ones back in the 1950s.
No, he's on about the clappers. You on about the
Sorry,
clappers?
Paul, crack on.
Yeah,
you on about the clappers we threw on the pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't want them damn things. We don't need them. When the ground's full, when St Andrews is full and buzzing, we don't need them, do we? We don't need
what?
No,
Sorry,
we don't.
Clappers.
We don't.
Not the rattlers. Not the rattlers. The clappers.
Not the ones you got.
Yeah. The ones that they have.
What I'm saying is, it's like the lights all around.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's rattlers.
How's it go?
There is so much that you can do.
How do those lights go, Nick? How do they go?
I'm not doing it again because you're recording. And then you'll think I'm cold because I'm.
Question from me now to everyone here and all our viewers: Are we missing anybody on the outside of the cup or inside on all these murals and pictures of the great players we've had over the years? Is anyone missing?
Gary?
I have an opinion, but I'm going to let everybody else go first.
I'm sure I've seen Gary somewhere. Was he not on the outside of the cup? I'm sure he is.
Is he?
I'd like to see.
I think he was, but no, I don't think he is anymore.
The only one I can think of is Seb Larson. I haven't seen him yet. I don't think.
No.
But
I'd like to see Steve Bruce on there. As much as there was, that little bit of probably left the club in the wrong way, but what
Chris,
he did
can you do it?
Was amazing.
Sorry.
Can we go? I'd like to Ian Bennett or someone.
Yeah, I think Benno's up there. Mark, he's on the outside of the cup.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, you got Martin O'Connor. Paul Devlin's just made it on a fence panel now, and he on a tarpaulin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just where I go in.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a look.
That didn't sound very, very complimentary. That didn't, Paul.
I know,
the way you said that. It's just made it onto a bit of tarpaulin.
Is Stan on there? Lazaridis?
Do you know what? I think so, yes. I'm 90% that he is, yeah. He's running off celebrating the one goal against, I think it was Barnes.
Of course, yeah.
Granger's on there, O'Connor's on there, Benno's on there, Mike Taylor's on there.
Mike Taylor.
But carry it on, can't we? If we go around the back of the
railway. About the bloke in the 70s.
Carry it on around the stadium.
What about the bloke in the 70s in his white overalls who used to have the T-urn on his back?
Yeah.
He needs rewarding.
I'll earn. Pete Taylor says the stadium lights at the World Cup going on and off before kick-off looks impressive. When ours went out half an hour in the 90s, they wouldn't come back on.
Mate,
they wouldn't come back on for half an hour.
It was a European Cup game and I was there, and we set fire to our programmes. It was February, freezing. We set fire to our programmes to keep warm, and the coppers come and stamped them out.
What about now he's come back to the club as well, especially, but I think he'd deserve it to be on there even if he wasn't back at the club now. He's Liam Deitch. I'm not sure if he's
Yeah, that's a great shout, that is.
Check, because he's back at the club, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, I was up the auto windscreens or something. That'd be brilliant.
Lilypad says she'd love to see some fans on the murals. That would be a good idea.
I wonder if he's walked up to the reception and looked up at all the players and thought to himself, "Where am I?" I wouldn't want to be the person who's asking that question too, would you?
No.
Right, guys. Do you know what Lilypad's just said? She wants to see some. You know what? Fans are the most important people at a football game. They are, without a doubt. And what would I pay to have Paul Hipkiss' face above the entrance.
No, put it the
Where?
way,
No,
the
Chris,
away end, the away end.
Above his mats. You can have it on the glass above the mats.
Listen. It's
Yeah.
all Pipkis's face above the entrance to the cop. Carpets are down below.
Yeah, point into the carpets. Can I have him pointing to the carpets?
I've got it even better. Craig, it's even
right on
better.
the mat.
Right.
Yeah.
All Pipkis's face on the carpet so we can all wipe over each other.
I think it'd be great. And then I think at the side of the GM you could have Mark in his robe, like, you know.
Yeah.
just where the away fans go, you know.
Yeah, me flat out on the floor.
Yeah.
Alan putting his socks on with his sock caddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
What sort of stadium's this?
I know. What have we come to?
You know what, Chris said? Chris, like, this is proper. These are people who love the club.
Yeah.
These aren't people who take a lot of money at the club and then just walk away at the end of their careers. These are people who, for a lifetime, right? A lifetime, love their football club. That's it, Paul. No, stop that. I'm just. It'll be there tomorrow, mate. Don't worry. Right up the carpets.
So what do we reckon Friday night then? Reading at home?
Ooh.
I think we'll win, Paul.
We'll win.
2-0. 2-0.
I'm going 3.
3-0.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do them 3-0. I promise you. No, I don't promise you.
I want to say it's an easy win, but if I say that, I'll lose.
It'll be an easy win.
Chris,
I'm going to do it.
Browne,
I'm going to
Chris
do
Browne,
a bit of
is that a hat or your hair above your glasses?
It's my hair. It's my hair up to there, right, and that bit's a hat. I've had it permed.
Looks like something out of Mad Max.
It looked better.
Paul,
Who's Rachel?
Sorry, Paul. You won't know what a perm is, Duck.
Chris, I reckon your head would look better upside down, and your beard is your hair, and your hat.
It is upside down.
100% brilliant, mate. I love it.
I still say Chris reminds me of the old man out of Home Alone.
The one who shovels up the grit outside.
Yeah.
You did say grit then, didn't you?
I did.
Good.
But if you turn him upside down, he is definitely a gonk at this present moment, and I will be putting some pictures up later on to prove it.
I might shave it off. I might shave it off. Boxing Day.
I'm going 2-1 Blues on Friday.
2-1.
Yeah,
I'm the same with a 2-1. Actually, I think they're not a half bad team, to be honest. I think we'll beat them, but they are pretty decent.
Who's the manager, Craig?
Paul Ince.
Paul Ince.
Ince, yeah. He's still there.
Yeah, and they're above us in the league. They're playing some half decent football as well at the moment.
Yeah.
Did he play for Wolves?
Yeah.
He played for him. Yeah.
You know what, I think I'm regenerating my memory cells, and one of these days I'll perhaps even beat Paul Hipkiss in the quiz.
Yeah. Well, we have had a few comments actually tonight. Nick asking if you're okay.
Asking if he's okay.
Yeah.
Who's okay?
We've had a few comments asking you if you're okay.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm never okay.
No, that's his. This is how he normally is. Honestly.
Oh.
You think he'll stick to the same team? We'll play the same team on Friday from Saturday.
I think he will. Yeah.
I think
Hogan. No chance of Hogan being fit then.
No.
I don't know what
No,
it is.
6 weeks, isn't it?
Was it?
6 weeks, isn't it? Didn't I see 6 weeks off?
Is it really? Is he out for 6 weeks?
That's
Big
what
loss,
I
isn't it?
saw. Yeah,
Big
6 weeks. Yeah.
Jeez,
Tony's just asked if we could get Stephen Carr on the show.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Right, you know who else I'd love to have on the show, because we've not done it for a long time, is the Blues Trust.
Well, yeah, I think we're going to have a Blues Trust. We might have a Blues Trust special. Yeah, we're going to have a Blues Trust special, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so for the last 15 minutes we go, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Have we agreed on anything? Because I've been a little bit busy. I've had to go shopping 3 times in the last 3 weeks.
Somebody, have we got something?
Yeah,
I think we have. Seeing as we've exited the World Cup, we're going to go with transport.
Okay then.
Well, Sid Carr.
Stephen Carr. John Ferry.
Well done.
John Terry.
Straight in.
Laurie. Oh.
Laurie Sanchez.
No, the older one from Liverpool.
McManaman.
What about Caravan Percy?
Oh,
Caravan
Foden.
Percy, yes.
Foden Strucks Foden.
Yeah.
It's a bit
John
surreal, this is.
Say John Train instead of Frayne, couldn't you?
John Train.
Yeah, I know it works, Paul. Not very well, but it works.
Yeah.
So it's football and transport.
Okay. I'm struggling.
Just
already.
while we're waiting for the first ones to come through, we're a week away now from our end of the festive charity event. It's going really well so far. So sales of raffle tickets continue to go well. But it doesn't mean you're too late to enter. So
Where's this from, Craig? Sorry.
say it again, sorry, Vic.
Where's it from?
We've got our charity events, haven't we? So we're doing the raffle, but also we've got a signed Jack McGoma shirt that
Jack was brilliant.
donated after our show with him, and that is up for auction. So if you are interested in placing a bid for the shirt, please reach out to myself.
We've got some bids,
and I
haven't we?
will update you as to whether you are in the running or not.
We have got some bids on that, haven't we?
£75.
No, we've got quite a few bids on that.
And a wagon wheel. A wagon wheel as well.
Yeah, we have now had, I think the last count was 12 bids for the shirt.
Excellent.
Right.
And the raffle tickets, they are £2 each, or for the sprightly sum of £6, you get 5. So you're buying 3 and getting 2 free. We've got some fantastic prizes. First prize is a pair of half-season tickets.
Yeah, put it on me, Chris.
Fantastic.
Tilton. There we go.
Yeah, it's great.
Hang on.
It was a whole season ticket, and somebody just cut it in half.
There you go. There's a shirt.
That's class on it.
That's a shirt, isn't it? That is a good shirt.
We've also got tickets for the game after Christmas, tickets for the New Year game. We've got a signed shirt from this season.
Signed it. Where's he signed it? Hang on.
It's on the back of it, Paul.
Is it on the back? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, next to his number. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's superb, mate.
Good.
Nice
That's
one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's in the raffle, is it?
Yeah.
That shirt there's the auction. The raffle shirts, there is another one. There is a signed top, which is the last Adidas top that we had in the league. It has, and I've double checked, got Jude Bellingham's signature on there. So it is worth getting. And that is part of the raffle prizes. So thank you to everybody that has bought tickets so far. If you want to have a go again, get in touch, and I'll let you know how we get on and draw.
Superb work, mate. Nice one. And where's the money going to, dude?
It's been split across 2 areas, which is Cancer Research UK and Mind as well. So two very worthwhile charities that have helped to support a lot of us, I know, across the board. So
brilliant.
Yeah, thanks to everybody so far.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
If anyone plans on wearing McGoma's shirt, it's a small. The size is a small.
Really?
So I didn't have McGoma down as a small. Really, I thought he was.
Really?
Oh no, yeah.
I thought it was a bloater.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we've had lots of goes on our last 15. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Ollie got a whole car. Dealey had a motorbike.
Who did it? Who's getting that one?
Mark Brooks, Stephen Sidecar. Stephen Sidecar. That's a good one. Stephen
Sidecar.
Taxi Lopez, Alex Massey Ferguson, Skate Birdo, Bike Taylor, Gene Boat Azure, Walter Van Diane.
Never cease to fail me, do you?
Mo Pedersen, David Bentley, Scooter Hogan, Kenny Pedalo. Kenny Pedalo. Oh.
Hello, yeah.
That's very clever.
Nukwanko Kanu. Japstram. Japstram. No.
What about Mark Skates instead of Yates?
Mark
Yeah,
Skates, yeah.
Mark Skates.
What?
We got Noel Blakey from On the Buses. That one's a bit surreal.
Yeah,
that is.
But what about Steve Carriage?
Steve
No,
Carriage.
Chris, leave it. I'll go with that one. I like that one.
You like it?
Jonathan
dear.
Underground. Jonathan Underground.
Jeep Stam. That's it. Jonathan. Yeah. Oh yeah. Good one. Yeah.
I'll put Kieran Flyer into the
Kieran
equation.
Flyer.
Sorry, Craig. I've just not wet myself, mate. You're not the winner.
Well, I actually have wet myself, but for the wrong reasons.
What about Tube Bellingham?
Tube Bellingham. Yep.
Or, I may have had a small trickle.
They're awful.
Can you see from there?
I'm quitting while I'm ahead.
Yeah. Where's
And of course,
Morgan?
the annual Christmas counter of the dollars is completed, and I chucked it all on the table a week or so ago, and the competition was closed at 9 o'clock last week. Right. We had a winner. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was Anne.
God, I was going to do a drum roll and everything.
Were they as close as last year, though, Nick? That's the question, because it was unbelievably close last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Hang on.
I promise you, Auntie Linda has not had a prize for last year.
Hasn't she?
She's got
No,
us.
she came up here the other week with Jack. Like, we had a lovely day together, and we sat outside, had a couple of beers, blah 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 blah. And I was talking about it, and she goes, "Well, I hope whoever wins it this year gets a prize." I said, "Why?" Well, I never had mine last year. I almost let myself laugh. You win a competition. Right, Linda, you qualify for Chris Browne's full bucket.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go.
You're cleaning out bit anyhow.
Shall I make mine little? No.
Yeah, go on then.
There was over £700 in that pile extinguisher. Right, I'll show you the pile extinguisher. I'll just unplug my thing here. Would anyone see my Christmas tree? There's my Christmas tree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
No way, you've got a miniature Chris right next to it.
No, that's not miniature.
And you got Linda's prizes under there.
There's the fire extinguisher for next year, right? We've already started putting a few quid in it.
Where's the ceiling trimmings?
Where's
the ceiling trimmings?
Don't do it properly, Nick.
Right. Oh God.
Blimey.
I'm going to have to go into this proper, aren't I?
God,
Right.
Get
There's my fire.
her trained up, will you?
Yeah. There's Sharon's lads' wall, Barry.
I want to know why they're not a thing anymore. You remember back in the 80s and 90s?
Oh,
Yeah, the paper.
Yeah, you'd be
What
there.
they
They're bombers now, do they?
No, why don't we have them anymore?
I don't know.
That ball,
'Cause we can't be asked.
That little lamp there gets lit up on the 11th of the 11th. And it will get turned off on the 1st of January. It stays on day and night. That is a painting of a sun. Like this, whoever's done that is amazing. 450 odd people is going to paint. That's amazing. Like, wonderful. The scroll from the Queen. My son came over a few weeks ago before the Queen dropped dead, and he said, "Oh, it's worth £2,000." It's not worth 10. It's not worth 10.
So anyway, Paul.
Oh dear me.
Oh, lost you.
So yeah, Sam Mullet's asking if he can battle me next week at Squad Game 1997 onwards. Great.
Sam, you are on next.
Bring it on.
Christmas challenge.
So that'll bring me on nicely to my announcement actually, because that'll be a nice way for me to go out. Because next Monday is going to be my last show after 4 years. It's been a great pleasure, and I might.
No, man, I didn't. Paul, I didn't even. I promise you, I did not know that, mate. No.
Yeah, so
No, not my friendly savant.
Yeah, so 4 years of this has been great, especially during the COVID times and lockdowns. Obviously, in 2020, it was fantastic, and it's been great being involved. So thank you for the last 4 years, guys, and having me on. It's been great.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
I hope everyone's enjoyed what I've brought to the show as well. Obviously, Squad Game and all the little things we've done over the years as well.
Definitely.
So,
For me, Paul,
definitely.
right, and I've done this for 11 years now, and Chris has as well, right? For me, it's been your memory. Your memory is incredible. I wish I had a tenth of your memory. Then at least when I took one, I'd come 10 places behind you. But
yeah.
Okay, so what's the reasoning behind the decision?
If
you want to say it's personal, just say it's personal, and we'll leave it.
No, it's not personal. It's just that I'm 44 in January, and I want to get back out on a football pitch. But I'll probably be back after a week when I pull my hamstring after 5 minutes. but I want to.
You're not just going to pull a hamstring. You're going to dislocate a knee. You're going to do anterior and cruciate ligaments.
We'll send somebody up there.
Going to be broken. Yeah. You will be back in 3 weeks' time. Leave it.
I want to start playing. I want to start playing football again, and
Is this walking football?
It probably will be for the first 2. It will be for the first 6 weeks.
Oh, brilliant!
So yeah, I'm going to be doing that for the first 6 weeks. Definitely doing the old Jan Molby in midfield, I think. But yeah, no, just decided to. The only football I can get at the minute is on a Monday night. So I've looked at Wednesdays and that as well, but they keep moving it to Monday. It was Thursdays, it was Wednesdays, and now it's Monday. So I just want to get back out there amongst my mates and start playing.
Something, Paul? Right, and I'm going to say this from the team. You have been an absolute inspiration to each and every single one of us, right? Your memory is incredible. I hate you because of it, but I love you with all my heart, mate. You are a wonderful person, and the 4 years that you spent on the Tilton Talk Show has been absolutely worth every single second. You have just, I really mean this, man. And I'm not saying you loose things. See ya. How else would you like me to say goodbye? Come on.
Paul, Nigel Mann said, are you really playing football or are you actually just going back on tour with Tim Vine?
Brilliant.
Yeah, there's lots of best wishes, Paul, anyway, on the show box.
There is indeed.
Yeah. It's been
However, Paul,
hang on, Nick.
Paul,
hang on, Nick.
Please come back.
I'm not saying I won't do the odd cameo.
Not every week, but please come back on the odd occasion. Please come back. Yeah.
Yeah. If I can, yeah. I won't. I'm not saying I won't do the odd cameo now and again, but week in, week out at the moment. Obviously, I'm going to struggle after next week, after Christmas, basically. So I'll take it next week's the last show before Christmas.
Yes, she will be. Yeah.
And ladies and gents, Christmas, that's my birthday. And ladies and gents, the odd cameo will be once every 13 years.
Yeah. I'll probably be back on every week. Like I said, I'll pull my hamstring after 5 minutes, probably.
we might send somebody up there to sabotage you, Paul.
Ladies and gents, well, this has been an announcement that I wasn't expecting. I genuinely did not know. Did I, Paul? Did I know? I didn't know. And I'm going to miss you, mate.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's been good. It's been good.
I promise you, like the laughs that we've had and the rips that we've taken out of each other has been worth every single minute of this for me. I promise you, mate. The last 4 years have been brilliant. I hate you for your memory. I will always hate you for your memory because I don't have one. But you know what? You know what, mate? When you brought those competitions in, and I think you've beaten everybody, haven't you?
Yeah, hopefully. Well,
Yeah.
I could go out losing to Sam Mullet next week, couldn't I? Can we make sure we bring him in for that next week? Yeah.
I have already reached out, so Sam, I will be in touch, and we will definitely exchange details to get on the.
Craig, is Sam a savant? I need to break this person's spirit next week.
No, he's going to come out on a high.
We can't have Messi and Ronaldo. We can't have Messi and Ronaldo anyway.
I think some highlights.
You know what? The best moment of my World Cup final was seeing Ronaldo crying down that tunnel.
The highlights for me over the last 4 years, I would say before the pandemic, I think the one when we had Paul Robinson and Tom Ross and Jeff Horsfield and Martin O'Connor in the studio were fantastic shows. And obviously, since we went on to Zoom, I'd say Robbie Savage and Barry Fry would have to be right up there. I really enjoyed Ricky Otto and Jono as well. I always love it, obviously, when Dev comes on as well. But, you know, it's just great to be able to talk to some of my heroes from when I was younger as well, you know. So, yeah, no, thanks for having me on for 4 years.
What an absolute wonderful forum this is. What an absolute wonderful show this is, right? We can take people like you. I'd never met you before in my life. Never met Paul, never met Watto, never met Chris, right? And it was just all by chance that we've all come together. And one thing that I really do want to thank you for, and I mean this, mate, with all my heart, right? Through COVID, we kept everybody together.
Yeah, we did.
No, I can't say that we did, right? Because of like, but we did. We decided, you, me, Chris, Mark, Watto, and Craig, that we would continue this show through COVID, through a pandemic of the world, right? And people are still writing to me now, Paul, saying thank you so much for keeping us together over that time. And then we've got the hashtag Jack Scott Friends. Great memories, mate. Great memories. I will take all of this to my grave one day, and I will still be grateful. I promise you, Paul. Thank you. Bless you.
Pleasure.
Whatever you do in life, my friend, don't fucking sell carpets.
And we've got a week to think of some suitably embarrassing things for Paul. And ladies and gents, it's out there. Let us know what you think we should.
Who's come up with that idea?
I've already got a bit of a confirmation going.
I was going to say,
it's not going to be very complimentary either.
Say compliment then.
No. Compilation.
It'll be like Big Brother when they get kicked out of the house and you look at your best bits.
That's it. Yeah. There weren't many, so it won't be long.
I was going to say, Mark, that'd be brilliant. We'd only have one picture for yourself. Sorted.
Another of my favourites as well has been when we get the ex-players on and get them to do that one.
Brilliant.
That's interesting all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
When we get them to try and do the U as well and guess who the players they used to play with and stuff like that, you know, it's been
that was good.
It's been very enjoyable, I must say.
Yeah.
Paul, you've been a part of my life. You've been a part of Mark's life, Watto's life, Craig's life, and Chris's life. None of us knew each other before this, right? And I didn't know anybody that we reach out to week in and week out before this. You know what?
Exactly.
We will continue this, Paul. Of course we will.
Show must go on.
And you will always be welcome to come back and have a night with us anytime, no matter what, right? No matter what. Forever. That's a given, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to miss you, you dog.
Absolutely.
I'm going to miss you. I promise you I'll miss you for at least 9 minutes.
Fergie time.
Ladies and gents, this has been the Tilton Talk Show with Paul Hipkiss, who is going to leave us next week. You're coming on next week, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I'll be on next week, yeah.
Right. Somebody take him on and please beat him. I want him to be a beaten man. Smash him into that. Right. Oh my God. Brilliant. Paul Hipkiss, mate. Yeah. I'll see you down the blues. I know I will, right? And you'll always have a massive place in my heart, in my life. Where's my missing memory going? Can you just send me a couple of things through the week that, you know, help me out?
Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been the Tilton Talk Show. First week back after the World Cup. We're out. We're home. It's down to others. I'd love Morocco to win. I've said all through this tournament, I think an underdog is going to really win it. Right. I was hoping after 56 years that underdog would have been us. It's not. We're home, we're out, we accept it, we carry on. And we're Birmingham City. Right, on to Reading, on to the next one we go. Craig Courtney, good night, God bless, take care.
Good night, everybody. Come on,
Mark.
Friday. Let's do it for the boys.
Mark, all the best, take care.
Yeah, have a good week. Enjoy it and take care, everyone, especially in this winter weather.
I'm saying exactly the same, Mark. I'm sure he is. And that beautiful road. Do you use much conditioner on that road, boy? Because it still looks exactly the same as it did 5 years ago. Or have you just not watched it?
I'll put it to the mango. That's good enough.
Chris Browne, good night, God bless, my friend.
Good evening, good night, goodbye.
And the guy that's leaving us next week, through no fault of his own, but will always be welcome back on the Tilton Talk Show. My good friend Paul Hipkiss, God bless you.
Thanks, pleasure. Good night. Keep right,
From me.